This is lesson 8-5, rational exponents and radicals.
Let's review what a radical is. A radical is any term that contains a root sign, shown below. The radicand refers to a number that is underneath the radical. If a number that's called the index exists what we call in the valley of the radical sign, take that root. If there is no index written, you always assume that the index is 2, or the square root. Here are some examples for you. These can easily be found in your calculator. If you're not sure how to find roots in your calculator, you should consult your teacher in class. Here are some examples. Pause the video at this point to give yourself a chance to do the examples on your own. So hopefully you have familiarity in your calculator and could easily get these answers. The square root of 169 is 13, and the fourth root of 4096 is 8. Again, if you're having difficulty finding different roots, please consult your teacher in class. Converting expressions to radical form starts with making the base the radicand. Next, make the denominator your index. And make your numerator into the exponent. Here's an example. 27 to the 2/3 power. The 27 becomes your radicand. The 3 becomes your index. And the 2 becomes your exponent. When you evaluate that in your calculator, you get 9. You should be testing these in your calculator to make sure that your calculator is working properly. Here are some examples. Write each expression in radical form. Pause the video at this point to give yourself a chance to do the examples. Here are your answers. X to the 1/2 power becomes, with an index of 2 and an exponent of 1, or simply just radical x. The second one becomes an index of 2 and again an exponent of 1, which evaluates the square root of 25 being 5 and the square root of x squared being x. So that's 5x. Converting radicals to exponential form starts with making the radicand the base. In essence, you're going to be working backwards from our last set of instructions. Then, we make the fractional exponent. Your numerator is always going to be 1, and your denominator is going to be the index. Then you need to evaluate. Here are some examples. Pause the video at this point to give yourself a chance to do the examples on your own. Here are your answers. The cubed root of x becomes x to the 1/3 power. And the square root of a to the 3rd becomes a to the 3rd to the 1/2 power. And then we apply our power to a power rule, and we get a to the 3/2 power. If you're having any issues with this particular lesson, please consult your teacher in class.